fresh out the box. Stop, look and watch. Ready yet? Get set. It's all
Okay,
back.
guys. Okay, guys. I'm back. I'm here. What's good? And today, honestly, this computer is just a prop. There's no notes, no script, no cues, no nothing. This is off the dome. Podcast 101. Straight, fresh off the dome. And I know you're. Because he kept falling. But I know y'all probably like, girl, where is you at? I'm in my bed. I'm in my bedroom. And welcome to the Holy Grail, my podcast setup. Do I look okay? Do I look fine? I think I look fine. But seriously though, level of comfortability and vulnerability here because I'm literally in my pajamas. My hair is all over my head right now. The most y'all are getting from me is gloss and a necklace. That's that's about it. Because I mean it's a vibe. We're vibing on Planet Morgan. Which brings me to the next thing. If you don't know where you are, hello, welcome to me. Welcome to Planet Morgan Podcast. We are on Planet Morgan Podcast. Oh my gosh, I've never freaking done a solo video podcast by myself. But putting pride to the side today because I realized I couldn't make it to the studio and I still had the urge to film and record and sit here and chat today. So I'm gonna do it. I not to like toot my own horn or nothing, but I think I did pretty well as far as like the setup and whatnot. But anyway, as most of my episodes go, like my audio ones, I'm literally just sharing what I've learned about myself as far as doing this whole life thing as an adult now, which is still kind of scary that I turned 21 in some time. Yeah, I couldn't think. I think like hold on. We're in September, October, November, December, January. In 4 months. I turned 21 in 4 ignore the delay of me counting. But yeah, I turned 14. I turned 21 in 4 months. I don't know where I got 14 from. Guys, I'm nervous. Can you tell? Like, don't beat me up. Like, I'm a little nervous. Like, just a tad bit. I haven't been in front of the camera in like a month. Like, it's been some time. And then on top of that, in front of the camera in like a whole new setting, no studio setup, no anything. Like, it's literally just me in my bedroom. I shouldn't be nervous, but I am. Yeah. But I think it's going well so far. I mean, like, how are you guys? Like, how are y'all doing? Me personally, I don't know what I'm doing, and I've come to terms with that, and I've accepted it, and I think it's fine. And I'm actually now enjoying the part of life where I don't know what I'm doing because I genuinely have no clue. I just know I love doing this. I love talking. I love doing the podcast, so I'm gonna do it so I can control that. Which brings me to the stuff that I've been learning about myself. Number one on that said list is blah, 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 blah. Ignore that. Number one on that said list is just trying to. Y'all know I'm good for losing the train of thought. Let's start. Let's start over. Um, where was I going with that? I don't know. Okay, which brings me to my first point of this entire whatever this is, this episode. I think I'm gonna title this one journal entry. Yeah. So this is journal entry. But I have like hella journal entries on my Spotify audio. So this is like part like 20 or 10, 15, 600, whatever. I'll just put some random numbers so it doesn't even matter. Yeah, but before I get into it, honestly, you guys, put on your pajamas, watch this at nighttime, get some popcorn, like just chill, vibe out. Like this is Planet Morgan. I'm trying to create like this vibey atmosphere here, so I hope everybody behind the camera, if there's anyone behind the camera, is tuning in and like just chilling, cause like this is just some chill shit. Like I'm just trying to talk. I've been having like things to get off my chest for a minute, and I'm like, why not record an episode about it? Like, I've really had the urge to do this, and so now I'm here. Clearly way outside of my comfort zone. Yeah, actually getting into the things that I would like to share with you all today. Um, Getting out of my comfort zone. That's the number one. That's what I've learned, honestly. That's number one on the list, getting outside of my comfort zone. So everything that I said before that about the number one, the fake number one, ignore that because here we are. Number one, getting outside of my comfort zone. For so long, well, I'll start with like a low key story time because I've been trying to dissect where this insomnia that I have comes from for like a decade of my life now because I don't sleep, guys. And I never looked into the fact that I don't sleep. Like I don't sleep is not that I don't sleep. Like I haven't been up my entire life for 10 years. That's not what I meant. I mean like I could have a full-blown stressful day like all out all day and you would think like, "Yes, can't wait to get into bed." And that's where my mind whoa. Y'all seen that? The light flicker? Anyway, um finding train of thought. Give me a second. Y'all know this. Uh oh, I was saying no, she's not here. Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. Bear with me. Oh, uh, it'll come back to me. Yeah. No, I've been trying to dissect where this insomnia comes from, and no, I have not been awake for 10 years of my life, like I just said. But even when I do come home, yes, that's what I was talking about. Even when I do come home from like a long stressful day or like just being out all day, like and I'm tired, I get home and I get in the bed and I realize that I can't go to sleep and that I won't. And then I'll be up to like 3 a.m. and then I'll probably crash out at like 3 a.m., go to bed. But there has been some days where it's been like I'm running, I've just been awake literally for like 42 hours. Wait, is 2 days 42 or 48? No, that's 48. And 3 is 72. I'm not good with numbers. So, yeah, like I said, 14 months, 14 years. I'm not good with words either, apparently. But no, I have been awake. Like I've done that before and been up for like 2 days straight or 3 days. I could have literally just said 2 days, but instead I wanted to publicly embarrass myself and try to calculate inside of my head, knowing, well, I'm not good with numbers. But it's okay. But 2 days is 48 hours. Please, like, put that in there. Like, that's a question. And, like, don't judge me. But, like, am I wrong or right? When I said 42 or 48, it's definitely 48. And then 30 days is 72. That's multiples of 12. Duh. Sorry, epiphany. You know, I talk to myself. It's fine. I feel like everybody does it. Don't judge. If you judge, you might be anti-black. I don't know. But regardless, yeah, I've been trying to pinpoint like why do I do that? Why am I like up for so long? And then I realized, haha, had the another epiphany. That is my word of the day, and I also just like saying it because it's a funny word, epiphany. But yeah, I've had an epiphany, and I realized that it was deeper than me just not being tired or just not going to sleep. Quite actually, there was like a lot behind it that I had to unpack, and like that's why self reflection is important, people. Um, and I do a lot. I do a lot of just thinking, and it's worse during those time periods, like late at night when I can't sleep. My thoughts get so overwhelming and overpowering sometimes that it's just like, you wish you could just turn it off. But sometimes, and they weren't like negative. They were just overwhelming. It was just a lot. I was just thinking about a lot at one time. And so what I did was listened to myself for once because sometimes I try to go against my brain a lot when I'm in the situation where I'm like stressed out or it's overwhelming at a certain point. So yeah, I was listening to myself and I realized, yeah, like me staying up was way deeper than I thought. Quite actually, it was because oh no, Stitch, why y'all didn't tell me Stitch fell? Where's he gonna be? You know what? We're just going he gonna chill out right here. Y'all can see him? Say what up, dude. Yeah. But I realized that I was becoming an enemy of my own self, and not me per se, just my head. And I know I've said that on prior episodes. It's just like it's almost incredible that like we have the power to physically and mentally tear ourselves down. Like your mind will literally go against everything that your mouth and body, like our brain has the power to go against everything that our mind and body want to do with a mere thought. Because once that thought, like, nope, once that thought like gets in your head, at least for me, like for me, again, every time I record an episode, I'm always sharing like my journey, my process. And if anybody can agree, like, dub. But if you don't agree, still dub. Like it's whatever. But yeah, our brains have the complete power to like once that thought is in your head that like you can't do something or that you won't do something, it's like you're now battling against yourself to try and believe or try to work against the fact that you can. And that's like almost like I said, incredible in a sense. Like it's weird. Like that's a we're interesting. Like being a human is so interesting. But yeah, I was telling myself like during these times that I was at nighttime, my body and like inside internally, I wanted to like do podcast episodes, but the thoughts in my head were saying like, "Oh, you don't have the right equipment. Oh, you don't have this. Oh, you don't have that." And so that was also in my brain making me believe that like I shouldn't do it or like I should give up. But my body literally, I was just telling my friend this other day, my body was literally screaming with the urge to record because I wanted because like this is my dream essentially. Like not a dream, but it's something that I love to do. And it's just like what's the point of having these thoughts if I'm not gonna act on it? You know what I mean? Like if I'm not gonna pursue it or at least try. And one another thing that I learned about myself is that I would rather not try at all because I'm scared to fail than try and fail. Stay with me now because I've said that to someone and they got confused, but that makes sense, right? Like I was so scared of not executing the podcast to the way my brain was thinking that I just would not try. And quite actually, I love how this is turning out so far, but I didn't even, I was so afraid to try and fail that I wasn't trying at all. And that was what was keeping me up at night. The guilt. The guilt was low key eating me alive, everybody. And I didn't even notice. It was eating me alive because of how badly I wanted to do a podcast. And I was like low key betraying myself because I didn't even try. But my body was telling me, like, girl, get the fuck up and do it. Like, just go do it. And so that brought me here. Hi. So I'm here. And then yeah, that was a big one. So I realized that like that's in my control. So that brings me to number two. Point number two. Another thing that my brain was telling me was like, and if you do it this way, the way that I have it set up now, then like no one's gonna tune in. Like this is like not a good podcast setup. In reality, I can't control who tunes in and who doesn't. Like that's not in my control. But what I can control is recording. Is recording the podcast and see where it goes. Like I said, I'm so glad that I and this is trial and error off of the dome. That's 2 points. Trial and error off of the dome and um yeah, whatever I was gonna say because I don't remember. But I just I hate that as people we have the power to do that. Like we're supposed to be our biggest cheerleaders, and the fact that I was guilt was tearing me alive because my brain had completely convinced myself to not do the podcast, but my body and everything else and all the urges inside of me, it's like almost a split battle between oh, sorry, me and myself, which is so weird. Like that's just it's just weird. It's a weird thing, but I'm getting through it. I'm working through it, and obviously I built the courage and grabbed my nuts. And I don't have nuts. It's just a saying, but obviously I'm here and like I'm actively trying to get through it. Putting my pride to the side. Um, yeah, to do this episode. I don't know how many points I've said, but this is the next one, which is I've never told anyone this. But it's you guys, like it's the planet. I don't really, I can tell you guys anything, honestly. But and this is also a judge-free zone. Planet Morgan is judge-free. So if you're judging, bye. Pack your bags. You can't stay here. But if you're not, welcome and unpack and we have your room waiting. Like, yeah. But nah, okay. So I've never talked about how the transition of like me right now, because I did say that I was nervous at the beginning of this, but like now, I'm hella comfortable. I'm fine with talking in front of a camera. Like I seem like I have the confidence to be this person. I mean, my major is broadcast journalism, for crying out loud. I'm literally in college to be on the news, to be like a talk show host or something, like on the radio. But the switch up is crazy, and no one ever talks about how like weird the transition of being an introvert to an extroverted personality is. It's so strange, and I sometimes I can't believe that this is my life and like this is what I want to pursue, because I'm 20 now, and probably like I'll say I give myself 17-year-old me would never agree to do anything like this. Like I would never sit in front of a camera and chat. Like I would never. And it's still like a funny like thing that I notice about myself all the time. Um because of how comfortable I am sitting in front of a camera like chatting. Um I get nervous still. Like yeah, I do get nervous. I get nervous and then once again my mind is telling me like no, Morgan, like this is embarrassing, this is like weird, like don't do it. That's like this still like closed introverted part of my brain that's still there, like she still exists because I'm introverted and to a certain extent. But when it comes to this, when it comes to you guys, when it comes to the planet, I all that goes out the window. Like it's so weird going from like being shut in and feeling like you just have to hold everything in, or like there's nothing you could possibly say to make a difference, or just anything, like just being nervous, social anxiety, all that falls under the category of being an introvert, like literally. um but also falls under the category of being, it just falls under a lot of categories. But I said all that to say is that's how I was, that was me at 17. And so sometimes I find myself also preventing myself from recording because of how that 17-year-old girl used to be. But like now I'm getting out of my comfort zone, stepping out of it. That's why I was doing solo podcasts. So crap, for crying out loud. 17, 18, 19, literally all the way up until 19, because was doing episodes, audio only episodes at the age of 19. Whoa, guys, it's storming outside. That's crazy. But I don't think the mic can hear that though. I'm Can y'all hear rain? If you do, that's like fitting into the vibe. Like I don't know. But I don't think so. But yeah, when I was doing all that and I was lying actively and passively, that's not, no, I was actively lying to everybody on those episodes, saying yeah, when I do this, when I do camera, when I get in front of a camera, da da da. I had zero plans of getting in front of a camera alone. Like this is strictly me, like off the brain, which is, it's just surreal. Like the fact that I have the confidence now to do it as an extrovert, it's weird. But yeah, I was actively lying, saying, yeah, when I do camera, when I get on camera, I was never going to get on the camera by myself. So like I applaud myself for this. I was only doing audio podcasts literally because I didn't want to be in front of the camera, because not because I didn't have the confidence, just because like being an introvert, like just shy, or just, you know what I mean? Like I'm still getting over this shy thing. That's another like quality that falls under being an introvert, is like how shy and timid that I used to be. I hated being on camera. I hated being recorded strictly because of that. And now we're here. I'm just learning all these things. Next point of the episode, everybody. And this is probably like all of these don't correlate, but they do, but they don't. These is literally just the things that I continuously learning about myself. Next point. I think I already said that one about the things that I can control, but this is to add on because I just thought of something. I should not be worried about stuff that is uncertain. Okay? Word. Let me tell you how I came to this realization. Because I'm a college student. Shout out to all my college students who are not thinking how I was thinking probably yesterday. And the switch up today is crazy because I definitely had hella doubt in my mind yesterday about college because one class gave me a one problem. Like it's not like I'm failing the class, but I'm just like, dang, I am dramatic because I'm like, dang, I'm never gonna graduate. If I keep telling myself that, then I won't. But graduation, first of all, this class, the future of this class that I'm in right now is quite actually uncertain. The future of this podcast, uncertain. I don't know anything about what the future of this podcast looks like. It's just a mere dream of how I would like it to look like. But there is no way, there is no way that I know what the future looks like. And unless you're a time traveler, which I approve of, I do approve. And if you're a time traveler, hit me up. I have questions, like hella questions. Where the fuck are the dinosaurs? Because I know they didn't just go extinct. Where the fuck are they? But I don't know what the future looks like. I will stress myself. Well, at least yesterday, not today. I was stressing myself yesterday. Let's speak in past tense. About the future of my like post graduation life because I read somewhere that there's no guarantee that you'll get a job fresh off of graduation, and I'm just like, I'm gonna be a failure. Like, I'm just like, first of all, I have to get through college first, and it's just like that's also racking my brain because I have to get through college first, and then there's no guarantee that I'll get a job like right when I graduate. Oh my gosh, y'all have no idea. And I know when I'm saying all this back, y'all probably think this girl is nuts. But seriously, that was just like I said, I'm dramatic, and that was literally just my thoughts. And so I was a little scared, but that's uncertain. I don't know that for sure. There could be a guarantee that I don't get a job fresh off of graduation, but there's also a possibility out there that I could. But that just leaves a big question mark for the future. Why? Because I haven't gotten there. Why am I trying to rush through the fact that I don't know everything? It kills me. I'm just a girl, everybody. But it kills me that I do that and then I miss the in between. Like like on tombstones they have the birth date and death date, and then there's the dash. The good old saying, the dash. My seventh grade English teacher, shout out her, because that's exactly where I remember this from. Um, but she did a dash. She said the dash is like that's you living. That's you living, right? I am passing all of that up because I'm worried about what has not come yet, nor has like knocked on the door. Nothing has happened. Nothing has happened yet for me to know the future. Like it's uncertain. So why am I stressing and so worried about it and I don't know anything? The only thing that I can do is in like what is ensure the things that I have done or like the things like no, not what I meant to say. The only thing that I can do is control the things that I have control over, like shooting the podcast, like this. Literally, this entire setup right now, everything that I'm doing, speaking to you guys right now, I have complete power and control over, and I should worry about it. But where I was messing up was I had to use an own analogy for me to understand exactly what I meant. So bear with me. What I wasn't doing, no, what I was doing, sorry, what I was doing was if I posted the video before I even recorded, this was my thought process. This is what not to do. This is what I was doing that I shouldn't have been doing. There we go. So before I even recorded the video, I'm just like, well, when I record this video and then I post it, no one's gonna watch it, or like no one's gonna like it's just gonna I'm doing this for no reason. I can't control that. I can't control who watches and who doesn't watch it. I just know I love doing this. I just know I love being here. So I'm gonna do it. And that's it. Like there's really simple ways to get through life. I just make it so much harder. Literally, I just make it harder. Like I can't stress that enough sometimes. I make it harder on myself, and that's another thing. Just getting the mind right, guys. Just using the brain in the correct way. Why would I want to make my life harder? Is what I've been asking myself for like a couple of days. But at the same time, I did see a TikTok the other day, and it was like, life brings you. He said something that related to what I said. I'm sorry, I can remember, but yeah, that's just been that's been my whole thing. I've had so many trials and tribulations with this whole recording process. You actually don't even know. This is like take number 5 or 6, and I genuinely thought the universe was conspiring against me because I wanted to film this episode. but we're here. It's fine. Like, it's good. It's overly good, and I finally executed it in the best way possible. And like I said earlier, it doesn't correlate. None of the points correlate, or do they? With a question mark, because I don't know. Really, like, literally off the dome, computer is here for prop. Like, I have Pinterest open because I'm been looking at outfits, but um that's where I've been. The last podcast episode I recorded um was like a month ago, and then before that I hadn't done anything podcast related to 3 months prior, the podcast episode that I have posted on this channel. So nuts. And that's been my mind, it's just a battle. Like, I feel like we just, as people, it's hard not to get caught up in what could be instead of focusing on what is. And this is my reality. My reality is literally sitting here recording these podcast episodes, not stressing and worrying about what could be. I was just making it way harder. And so that's where I've been. That's why I haven't done anything, if anyone cares. I just wanted to make a podcast episode finally because I have so much, like, good ideas. You don't understand how crazy it is for your mind to be shutting down the one, not the one thing, but the thing that you love so badly, and your mind is telling you that you can't do it. It's just like a fucked up thing. I don't wish that on anyone because it's a terrible feeling. Like, it shouldn't even be in my consciousness that I would fail. Like, what? I'm my mother's kid, and if she's watching this, I'm your kid. I'm not failing. Like, that it shouldn't just, not at anything. And if God's on my side, then I'm not gonna fail at anything. So long as he has my back. Like, even if I do fall, get your ass back up. And that's what I wasn't doing, because I was falling and my ass was staying there. I was just staying on the ground for some time, trying to figure out how the hell did I fall, and like what will happen if I get up, trying to dissect every little thing. Like, unfortunately, thought daughter, not thought daughter, thought daughter, not thought. I repeat, not thought, thought daughter. Just had to make that clear. Thought daughter. And it's just like, yeah, sometimes I get in my head, and sometimes I'm listening to everything that is said in my head instead of focusing on the reality, and I'm missing all the things in between. And I learned that that was what was keeping me awake at night all night, because I wasn't pursuing the thing that I loved doing the most. And college isn't making it any better. Wasn't making these thoughts any better. But then I realized that, like, I can't control the future. So why am I even fixating on the future? I need to fixate on what I can control instead of letting it pass by, because the fact of the matter is, I was so worried about not doing podcast episodes that I wasn't doing podcast episodes. And here I am. It's not that hard to just turn on the camera and press record. So I did. I did, and here we are. And me and Stitch, here we are. And then, yeah, that's really it. That's just life. I just wanted to come on here and share that. And I always share. If you listen to my audio podcast, I'm probably gonna put this on Spotify. But if you listen to my audio podcast, I probably said what? I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, it's been lovely chatting with you guys. That's about it. That's all I got. That's all I got today. And yeah, until next time, I'll try to do better consistently. If you really want something, you have to work hard for it. I remember what I was gonna say before I actually ended. I forgot that. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna end it. Bye, everybody. That's all I got for you. And this has been Planet Morgan. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow. Planet Morgan out. My homegirl said she wanted to have a Vogue off, so I'm gonna put this at the end of the video. How'd I do? Shout out Indy.